Black Oni.
You're now listening to the Black Oni podcast.
Yo. Oh, yeah. We doing the pre-show now, baby. Yeah, let's go.
Good.
Before we start anything regarding a pre-show or a regular show, I want to ask the people at home, first of all, can you hear us clearly? Do we sound good? Are the guests coming through the same volume as me?
What's up?
Yo.
They'll have to well, they're talking right now, Survival. Jeez, Kev.
Man, not even any patience,
Right.
man.
You're like a struggling doctor.
Yikes.
So before we get into our pre-show, which will lead into our actual show, just a moment of solidarity for the homie Kobe Bryant. For those of y'all who didn't hear the news, unfortunately, he passed away today. A helicopter crash. It was a private helicopter, so we're gonna give a moment of solidarity to pay our respects to the man, to the legend himself. All right. His daughter did pass as well. She was in the vehicle with him. There were 3 other passengers, I believe. And I feel like this is, I'm not a huge sports fan the way I used to be back in the day, but back then my brothers and my dad, we were all into basketball. We would watch and play together all the time, and so maybe this is a chance for us to kind of tell our stories about basketball and Kobe specifically. So my brother Will, yes, there's another Will. There's many Wills in my family. He was obsessed with Kobe Bryant, like literally obsessed. He had his jerseys. He had pictures of him on his walls. He was basically the next Michael Jordan. And if you think about it, in a way, he kind of transcended Michael Jordan. And while we were talking before we did the pre-show, I mentioned like how insane it was that, Kobe's kind of like an onomatopoeia now. He's not even just like a name or a person, but he's like an action. So like whenever you see one of your friends like throwing a water bottle in the wastebasket, like what do they always say?
Kobe.
Like literally Kobe. He became like how like Google became a verb. Right. And Google's no longer just like the search engine. It's like, I'm gonna go Google this.
Yeah.
Like I'm about to Kobe this. So I don't know. It's crazy. But like back then, like we were like, me and my brother were both obsessed with the Lakers as well. So we used to go outside and play basketball pretending we were Lakers. He was Kobe because he was actually like really good at basketball.
All right.
I was Eddie Jones because like I was alright, I guess.
Hey, I like Eddie. He helped me get a ring.
Oh, word?
Hey.
Yeah, Eddie was cool though. Eddie was cool. I mean, but like comparing him to Kobe, it was just like,
no, for sure.
What are you gonna do?
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Kobe is just, he's a legend. Like that news just hit so, like, it wasn't even familiar. Like it almost felt like it was a joke. Like how, like who would, like it was a bad joke. Like who would even say something like that, right?
Yeah.
And when I heard it, I mean, he just like retired like not too long ago, 2-3 years ago. And he was someone who was just willing to give it all to the game. I mean, he completely like retired when his body told him like, yo, we can't do this no more. Like it's time for you to like start mentoring the next generation. And that's what he was getting prepared to do. And he was just a man who loved the game, who loved that city, loved LA. He was all for it, all for charity. And it's just crazy how that happened like that. I mean, and to think, I mean, I'm assuming this is not for sure, but given that it is, you know, Grammy weekend, the Grammys is tonight, he was probably on his way to get prepared for the Grammys.
True. I didn't even realize that was today.
Yeah.
Damn.
So.
But yeah. Kobe is like definitely like changed my life. Because like when it comes to that, it was just more of like I love the rivalry between him and Jordan growing up, and like Michael Jordan was my favorite player growing up. So you always see him and Kobe. You can always see the fire between them two, and that always made you always want to like do your best no matter what. So to both those players, I know they helped like a lot of kids like when it came to like being good at something and the practice it takes to get into something that you want to do. And it even still goes with to this day, for even if you're older and you still recognize these players, you definitely know that they put a lot of work and time into what they are and what they became to be. Yeah. So they always said like never give up and always practice to be what you want to be. So always thanks to like Kobe and Jordan for that. So
yeah, man, that's real. That's real. And yeah, we'll chat with Chad a little bit since we're still in the pre-show phase. But yeah, from the reports, witnesses saying they heard the engine sputtering. Yeah, absolutely. I heard the similar thing about the situation, I should say. But yeah, you never know when your time is, y'all. So just do what you can to live your life the happiest you can when you can, because we can't always control our happiness at any given point, but the best you can do is try. Because you know, we say it all the time, you never know when it can be you.
Right. That's the crazy thing. I mean, he was still young and full of life. You know, and just to think like ending your basketball career, gearing up for your next phase of life, your next chapter, and to see like it end so abruptly.
I watched a movie yesterday, or was it the day before? The days are starting to blend together now. Me and my lady watched a movie together where the ending just kind of like stopped. It was just like there was no like conclusive like path. There was no like trajectory towards a finale. It just like ended, and I feel like it's very similar to like what happened with him. Like, and you can say that for a lot of people, sure, but I don't know if we've seen a basketball player aside from maybe Reggie Lewis, whose life just kind of like snapped like that, you know?
Right. Yeah, I mean, especially when you're talking about ball players. I mean, not even just any ball player. Like, you got this ball player at this level of the game who inspires so many, who did so much for the community, and he even inspired other players, you know, to be better, even on opposing teams. Like, like I'm a huge fan of Dwayne Wade, right? I'm a Miami Heat fan, and that rivalry, and that rivalry, it was a friendly rivalry, but you could tell he was like, "Yo, be better." Like he always tells Dwayne, like, "Be better." Like you want to come against me, be better. And Wade always saw that, and even after like in the end of their careers, like you could tell, like even with Wade, when Wade, you know, his last year retirement. There was one game where he made like this crazy last second 3. And everyone asked him, like, yo, how'd you do that? And he was like,
Kobe.
He was like, I took the power of the Black Mamba.
Yeah.
Like, yo, it was that. And for everyone, man, a lot of players in the NBA, that's really what it is.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild to even say that because, again, like Michael Jordan was the person that everyone was trying to be.
Right. Right.
And you got Kobe, you got LeBron James as well. He's like a person that, like, you know, everyone's trying to be on that level. You know, Stephen Curry. I don't know who's like really big aside from them now, but like
LeBron, what I think now, like our generation was really big on Jordan. Well, like ours and our parents was kind of like the Jordan, end of Jordan phase. Then you get to LeBron and Kobe and AI. If you wanted to be nice with the hands. And then when LeBron hit, that's like, I think the Gen Zers are really more LeBron right now. If you see a lot of people shooting more threes than they're Steph Curry, but other than that, there's not a lot of new players right now. There's this new Zion dude who's coming up. He just got drafted this year. He might be like the next LeBron. But there hasn't been like this next Kobe, because Kobe and LeBron were two different like positions, body types. Like Kobe was really like, when you put Kobe and Jordan together, like you could see the comparison.
Absolutely.
And it made sense.
Yeah.
Right. And Kobe.
He's a spectacle player too. It was like it wasn't just about like being good. It was about like making it look good.
Right. He was one of those players. Like it was entertaining to watch Kobe. Like it was only very few players that's like really entertaining to watch, and Kobe was one of those players.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you could be a good player, but just be good and entertaining. It was, and I see
Kawhi.
Kawhi.
Oh, Kawhi.
Kawhi, he's a good player. I'm not gonna say he's not a good player, but I don't feel like he's entertaining to watch.
Gotcha.
Oh, wow.
I think he's definitely a solid player, though.
It's like for anyone trying to look for a little bit of correlation there, it's like watching an FGC tournament, right? And the person winning is just the guy kind of spamming in the corner. Hadouken. It's like, well, he's winning. This ain't fun to watch, but he's winning.
Like that's how I feel like Kawhi. Kawhi is one of those players who's like, he's good. Like he is good. Like I'm not gonna take anything from Kawhi, but it wasn't like entertaining.
Wait, well, hold on. Wait, Lab, really? Really? You really coming for my neck like that?
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Man, listen.
On Smash, huh?
I am fun to watch, okay? I don't want to hear shit.
Yeah, Lab, you're gonna talk trash. How about you step up to the sticks?
Yeah, coming to the ring, get that ass beat.
Only people who can talk trash are people who stepped in the ring.
I play on random, motherfucker. I still beat you. Oh.
I mean, he would. He has.
You hope Kobe's wife ain't watching news because they have 3 blankets on her. Oh man, wait, 3 blankets on the floor. What the hell does that mean?
3 bodies.
Oh, well, this confirmed 5 people dead from that, if I'm not mistaken.
Confirmed 5, but we know that Kobe.
But there was still rumors, because I also heard. I mean, I don't even want to say. Like we know Kobe's confirmed.
And his
I don't know if the daughter was a confirmation.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
As far as I know.
There's a lot of rumors going on Twitter right now, so I'm waiting for like actual
exactly
confirmed.
Confirmed.
Which actually baffles me today is a lot of the news sources, highly news sources are taking reputable news sources are actually taking speculations from Twitter and using that as a source. I'm like,
so I'm seeing CNN
news source.
I know, right? I'm looking at a CNN article right now. The legendary NBA player and his daughter and 3 others were killed in a helicopter crash. So for anyone who wants to see the article, I'll put it in the chat.
Like it's probably a guy who heard the plane crash and like ran with his camera.
Right.
Like it's crazy how that works now.
This guy in here to jump in the fade away 3 and his legs were all the way up in the air. Yeah, exactly. Like he just did some wild stuff in his career, and it was just dope.
Yo, Kobe was nasty with it. Like they 3-peat. I think they were the last team to 3-peat.
Because the Celtics only 2-peated, right?
Yeah, Celtics, Heat, and Golden State. They both only won twice. Okay. Which is funny because
they were so close to getting 3, bro. They were so close.
Yeah, but we had to stop y'all. So, but then Kawhi stopped us, and then the God stopped Golden State. I'm not gonna say Kawhi stopped Golden State. The God stopped Golden State.
He said God.
For real, like Golden State was a cheat code. God was like, yo, like we just realized this was a cheat code.
Yeah.
Everything went wrong in the finals. Like, Jesus.
Hey man, sometimes you just gotta turn on the Konami code in basketball.
Up, see you.
That was a cheat. Yo, Golden State was a legitimate cheat code. That was a legitimate cheat code.
That's crazy.
Like you didn't hear nothing about Golden State, and next you know they just plug in the NBA. You're just like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
it's like a mod. Like a mod was added to a game.
Right.
Right? Because like Splash Brothers, like that was a cheat code in itself.
Right.
Like Steph Curry and what's his name, Thomas. They were both like ill with the 3, and I think that's why everyone threes now, but because those 2 were just ill with the 3, and then once they plugged in Kevin Durant, dude, they were about to literally win 3 straight.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for all those injuries.
Yeah.
That's how they get you, man. Them injuries.
Dude.
I'm telling you, no. Everyone had injuries. Like everybody was getting.
So that don't sound right.
Sounds not right.
Somebody was doing something in the background.
Listen,
like, I don't know what's wrong with your shoes, but they ain't working.
Right.
Like everybody, bro. Listen, if they would have won that, listen, the NBA would have.
Yeah, they would have been. They went so mad.
Yeah, the game genie hack. Exactly.
They had to nerf him. Oh my god.
They had a nerf. God had to nerf him. I was
Facts,
like, Jesus. They went from the top of the leaderboards to the bottom in the next year.
Yeah. Everyone's like, what happened?
Right. Well, damn, I thought this was all good just a week ago.
Patch came out.
Oh my god.
Hit the smurder on him.
If we want, this is technically the pre-show, but we can instead jump into some of these topics. That way we can at least get through some of it.
Okay.
So this is a question that I put on here and didn't even think about myself. So you're welcome for that. What was your favorite game that's been delayed before? Your favorite ever delayed game, and chat, y'all can answer too. I'm going to cheat and see if actually no. Metal Gear, I know for sure has been delayed before. I know for sure.
Right. Okay.
So I'm gonna go with that as my cop-out answer.
Which one though?
I think Metal Gear Solid 3
Chad, you can't even see his face,
and 5
like,
both got delayed before. I think both of them got delayed.
Okay.
All right.
Fair.
I'm gonna go with. Yeah. Oh, keep going.
No, I'm good.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Grand Theft Auto 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that one. It wasn't a huge delay. It feels like the Cyberpunk delay, even though Cyberpunk was announced since like 2013. Let's be honest. The wait time isn't the same, but
yeah,
the delay when they actually when they revealed the release date, it was for spring of 2012, and then they pushed it back to October of 2012. So it wasn't too much of a delay, but it was still a delay because I was really waiting for that. I remember when that came out, I was just about to enroll to finish up my bachelor's, and I was hoping to get into the bachelor's program before I started playing that game because I already knew.
Yeah. Smart man. Smart man.
Yeah. So that one was really, really good, and I'm happy they delayed it because it still came out to be a great game.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was like, but y'all couldn't wait. Y'all couldn't like give it me like the free.
Right.
I'll take the patch. I ain't gonna let it out the bag.
Right. And it looks like we may have a special guest with us.
Okay.
Special.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Hello, I'm finally here.
Hey.
I'm sorry,
Oh, yeah.
it took me forever. Lately I haven't been feeling well. I've been feeling kind of like fatigued, kind of like tired. So I've been sleeping a lot, and I ended up sleeping in late. So
Hope you didn't get the coronavirus. Damn.
I'm like, oh my god. So I'm like, I'm running behind on everything today. So
Oh
sorry
no.
about that.
It is all good. We're happy to have you here. We're happy to hear that voice of yours, and we only did a pre-show, talked a little bit about what was going on with Kobe's situation, and
Which I can't believe. Like, this is how we starting out. Like, ugh.
Right.
All right.
yeah, it's
We
rough.
didn't even get through January.
We're
Really,
not even done yet. We got
not
a few more
even
days.
anywhere close. Oh man. But so for those of y'all who are wondering, we have the crew here. We're gonna get the video up and running in just a few moments. I have to like make sure everything's aligned before I like put us up, and then like you're only gonna see half our faces or whatever. So don't worry about that. But we are going to continue the action of the agenda. And we just started talking a little bit about what our favorite game that's ever been delayed is. My selection was Metal Gear Solid 3. And Audio Lover's selection was Grand Theft Auto 5. So now we're waiting on either Soleil or Kesa to give their answers.
I'm pretty new to gaming, so I don't think I'm just now kind of getting into everything, so I don't think I have like anything. I've never really been waiting for something and it been like delayed before. Like I always usually get games after the fact.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's
fair.
actually oftentimes better to do than.
That's the smartest way to go.
Yeah.
Actually.
The games are on sale. You ain't spending that much. You know if it's good or not.
Mhm.
Yeah. So not that
Yeah.
bad.
I guess for me, this is probably easy, and everybody probably already knows already in chat. But it was Persona 5.
No way.
Persona 5 was delayed twice.
It was.
So
Yeah.
I think it was delayed first because of localization issues, and then the second time it was because they wanted to add dual audio, so people who wanted English or Japanese. So yeah, it was a sad time in my life, but it was worth the wait though, and I'm glad to see how big it became. So
The previous ones weren't dual audio?
no, because they didn't have a lot of voice acting in it. I mean, they did like for like the cutscenes and certain story parts, but not all, like most of the parts, you know. So, and plus, this was back on like the PS2 days when like 3 and 4 came out. So
Right,
a lot of memory. on
That's
the
true.
CDs.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Facts.
I actually just played Persona 5 for the first time over like Christmas break. Like I only started it like, at the beginning, but I like it. I definitely like it a lot.
Hey, that's what I like to hear.
Yeah, for those of y'all for whatever reason don't know, Kesa loves Persona 5. The way I feel about Metal Gear is how he feels about Persona 5.
For sure.
Or I guess I feel like Persona in general. That's how you feel.
Persona in general, yeah.
Yeah. So that goes without saying.
Yeah, and just like you with Metal Gear in general. So
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, not Metal Gear Survive though, because I'm finna.
we don't talk about that.
We don't
talk about that.
We don't talk about that shit.
We don't talk about that.
That fucking. Oh my God! Listen, y'all don't understand. Y'all do not understand.
Wasn't that just a cash grab though?
Man, it was some bullshit.
Survive was just a cash grab.
I can tell you that right now. It was some bullshit.
Because I don't feel like that was really part of any of the core team's decision to make that or something.
Nah, not even a little bit. Konami was like, "Oh, word, we made a lot of money with this thing. Let me get that real quick. Let me have that." So I'm still fiddling around with the settings here to get ourselves lined up here, but we are still gonna go through with this. And so I wanna spend a little bit of time introducing our audience to the wonderful Soleil 88. And we can wait until we have the video up to do this part of it, or we can start it now. It's up to you. Let's start.
You mean like?
Yeah, because I'm still working on some things behind the scenes, but let's start with the basics. Are we still in pre, or are we running the whole show?
We
running the show now, baby. We in this.
Okay.
So we just got finished doing our icebreaker, and so now we gotta learn a little bit about Soleil. So first of all, please let the people at home know who you are, what it is that you do, and we'll ask that question later. Who are you? What do you do? And how's everything been? Oh, you're lagging a little bit?
Discord, fix it.
Discord, please. I hope it's not me.
Nah.
Okay. I think it's good now. So what were you saying? Say it one more time.
So who is Soleil 88? What do you do?
We can drop the 88. I usually just usually put that in like so I can get my name with certain things.
Okay, gotcha.
Who am I? Basically, I like games. I like anime. That's pretty much it. Like, I enjoy like being able to share that I love those things and be able to share my experience with those things like, with other people. That I would like to like make videos on things or like to stream and stuff like that. Because sometimes just when I'm playing a game, like my reacts or like my commentary on. Like I can enjoy like share the fun that I didn't lag too bad while I was saying that.
It's a little bit of lag going on. It's not we can hear a lot of what you say after you've said it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I listen, trust me, I know how technical difficulties can be as someone who literally faces them every day, all the time. It's kind of annoying actually. So I know what that's like.
I don't think I have anything else open that should be competing with anything.
It could just be like a network thing too, because you know how the internet likes to be sometimes.
Oh, my internet was acting up before I got on.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like life is a technical difficulty.
I thought that's a metaphor. Yeah, real shit. That is a metaphor for life. Life is a technical difficulty. So where did the name Soleil come from then?
I don't know. Where did it come from? So like, this is probably going to be really, I don't know. Like, it's going to be kind of like deeper than what I intended for today. But
I'm here for it.
When I first started living out on my own, like. Being an adult, I don't feel like we really get prepared enough to be an adult. No. And so it was kind of really tough, especially like, you know, living on my own, like living by myself. Like I live by myself, like in the state by myself. So it was a lot of pressure on me, like a lot of pressure. And like this is like my first introduction to anxiety because I never experienced like real big anxiety in my life until like I started living like on my own by myself because I always had the safety net of like my parents or I always had other people around me and different stuff like that. So man, when I tell you like panic attacks like threw me on my ass in the beginning, like I wasn't ready. I didn't know like what that felt like. I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know if it was like a real like medical issue or what was happening because I never had one before. But during that time, like I kind of found like some peace and some calm like in other things like spirituality, like meditating and stuff like that. And so I got to thinking about a lot of things and my life purpose was like one of them. And I was like, I would really love to like, you know, shine a light on things that are like important or, you know, be like light the way for like other people, kind of. I feel like that's like my purpose. And so I was like, I would always meditate out in the sun, and so that's where Soleil came from. As corny as that sounds.
No,
like,
that's actually really nice. I asked the question because I had no idea, and I'm always like interested to hear about how people come up with their essentially their brand identities, right? Like who they're going to call themselves on the internet specifically. You have so many options available. Like how do you hone it down to just that one thing, you know? So
because that's kind of hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I've helped people like try to
prototype names, like stuff that they picked beforehand.
Right. Wait, so I guess that what was it going to be if it wasn't going to be Soleil? Was it going to be Hot Mommy 69?
I'm out of here. What was it? I don't remember now.
We were just joking about that.
It's been a long time. Like I've already like changed like all my stuff. Like all my socials are like the same.
Exactly. I remember we were talking about that earlier about like why I don't have the alerts on. I was like, I don't want some like cool sexy guy 34 to come in here, just like following, and that shows up right here. It's like, nah, we ain't doing that today.
Yeah, that stuff is tricky. Like,
yeah.
Some people just live for that. They love to troll. They love to see have their little 15 minutes, 15 seconds.
Yes.
No,
we're on the screen now. It took us a little while, but we did.
On the screen.
There we go.
All that work we did to get ready, y'all. We glistening and shit. Look at that.
Oh my goodness. So when I was getting ready, because I'm a girl, it always takes me a long time to get ready. It is what it is. I've accepted it.
Yeah.
But so I go because this is what took me like an extra time, like a lot longer. Like I go in OBS and like I always have issues with my camera, like it not registering my camera. It's like I keep having to switch until it like. I don't know. It's so weird, but I was like, not right now. Like, I literally just used my webcam before, like a couple of days ago. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, today, I don't know what wants me to be late, but I was like, all right, it's fine. I ended up figuring out which camera it was, because I've had to make different, like capture device like things. Like, I've had to make like 6 different ones. Like, for it to work, so
yeah, I've had issues like that before with OBS, and OBS is a pain in the ass sometimes. I mean, you need it because it's a great software, but whoo, Chile, let me tell you.
Yes, I had freaking Streamlabs, and it was not working with my like PC. Like it wasn't working when I was trying to stream certain stuff. And I was like, damn, I love Streamlabs so much. Oh, that shit hurt it. But it's okay. Yeah. Oh, do y'all curse on here or do y'all not?
Oh, absolutely. Fuck yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I know some people don't.
Yeah. I was actually having this talk with Ivan, and shout out to Ivan in the chat right now. I was just like, I used to, for a while, like I was trying to hold like not swearing on stream thing and like being very like PG and very marketable. And then I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I want to.
Yeah, like, especially with the way that YouTube was going, I relate with that. Because having to, like, bleep certain things or, like, dude, that's kind of annoying.
And, like, with the way it went anyway with YouTube, it was just like, all right, it doesn't matter anyway. Because, like, all of our money's gone. All the advertisers are pulling out. Like, all of their rules are stipulating that you can't do this, that, and the third. Now we all have to, like, it's just. It is what it is. So I just let myself kind of just be who I am and just have fun, But speaking of being who you are and having fun, what inspired you? So again, for those of y'all who don't know, Soleil is an artist, and she's a fantastic one at that. What inspired you to become an artist?
Well, first of all, coming from you, I appreciate that. Secondly, I think it was anime that really made me like really want to draw, because I realized that you can tell a story and like different things like that. I think is the most important thing. And it was cute because like when I was younger, like being a girl, like I would draw like DBZ characters better than the boys would, and it would be pressed, and I loved it. And I think with drawing is the first thing very stubborn about. Like I was I would be able, like, so I would think that, like, they'll be like, oh, I can't even draw a stick figure, all these types of things. I was like, I couldn't draw a stick figure in the beginning either. Or like certain things like I would draw that would look wonky or like would look terrible, but it's like you have to push past that point.
Yes. And I always tell people too, like, if you think about it, like every artist, most artists at this point especially, they start off drawing their pieces as stick figures. So it kind of builds from there to be something a little bit more. So I always find it interesting when people are just like, oh, all I can do is stick figures. Like, it all starts as a stick figure.
It does, and like the main thing is like you have to know your fundamentals to build off of everything else. So that's the most important thing. Like a stick figure is nothing but like the beginnings, the very basic beginnings of like this like skeletal structure. So it's like it's basic stuff. So it's a good place to start from.
Would you say there was any specific anime that really kickstarted things for you that was just like, I need to fucking do this?
I think Dragon Ball Z was the one that I first got into that I think I was a fan of. Because I remember, like, I think my mom said I watched like Sailor Moon and stuff like that, like real early stuff. But yeah. I think that was the thing that I most got excited for, like with like each saga, like each conflict and things like that. And I remember because my dad didn't have any boys at the time, so like me and him would always like watch that, or like we watch wrestling or something like that. But like yeah, like there was something about like the story and just like everything like that like got me. Naruto came after. Naruto was on the other one that I think I felt like that for.
Okay, that's what's up. And what you say you got into gaming a little bit later? What was your favorite game / game series, and why?
That's tough because I like different things for different reasons. It depends on what mood I'm in. See, I love talking about shit like this. Okay,
yeah.
So starting out when I was younger, I don't think I played a lot of like the games that like other kids played. I wish that I'd like got on like that whole PS2. Like I feel like because I had guy friends when I was younger, and I would go to their house and they would have like certain things. I think the only things that I really played, I think Tekken was like the most thing. I think fighting games are the most that I played like growing up.
Yeah.
I think Tekken, Mortal Kombat, like I think those things I have like nostalgia for. But as like I got like back into gaming now, like within the past like maybe like 5 years, I would say that like I like story a lot, like story and relationship building like stuff like a lot. I like those games a lot. But then again, like I also like games where I feel like an adventurer, so like Uncharted or like Tomb Raider and stuff like that. I think those are my two top favorite things. One where like your choices are important and like it has a really strong narrative, or like stuff where I'm just an adventurer and shit like that, where I can immerse myself in that. I think between Tomb Raider and Uncharted 4, like I had a lot of fun. I felt like I was playing like in an action movie. Like there would be certain times where like I would stand up on a cliff and like look out and be like, oh my god, they did such a good job designing this game. Like I love it. But I would say in like playing like Telltale stuff, like that has been like I like that, being put in like certain cities, seeing what type of person I am based on like the choices that I make. And one of the things I love when I'm streaming is telling my audience, like explaining to them, this is why I'm making this choice. This is why I don't mess with it. Like I love those moments and they love those moments because usually we have the same opinion.
Right.
I think in terms of like starting Persona 5, like I like the I think
cutting out a little bit.
I think it roll when it comes out, but I think it turns doing stuff and it's like different skills and things like that's very new to me because I did not play that stuff like that growing up. But I think I'm gonna like it. I just have to get used to it.
Which game is
I
that?
wanted to play Fire Emblem, but I wasn't able to. I don't have the Switch.
Which game was that you were just talking about?
I was talking about Persona stuff and interacting with different
Persona 5.
Yeah, Persona 5.
people, but I don't have a Switch.
Gotcha.
That was a long answer.
Yeah, no, that was a good answer, but it's just we couldn't hear certain parts because of the whole cutout thing. You know how it is. You know how it is. So I don't want to. Okay, so one of the times we streamed, we played a little game called Monster Prom, and that was a ridiculous amount of fun. And people in the chat even asked me and you if either of us did voiceover work, and I was like, not yet.
Monster Prom. Yes, I still have to edit that. When I like a lot of stuff has built up because I've streamed a lot of stuff now, and I have like my schedule is like completely like full. But that is one of the things like I still have I put it, but yes, anything where I have to do like voices. Doki Doki was fun to do. What else? There's this game called Kindergarten that I've done like voices for that I can do that with.
Yeah.
Like I love anything like that, and I think doing that with somebody else that enjoys that is like super fun. Like I had fun doing that with you.
Yeah, I did too. So we did it twice, and I didn't want to tell everyone that we did it twice yet because I knew you were still working on the thing that you did. But we also did it in a live stream where it was me, you, I think Kesa was there too.
Yeah,
Pikachu Lita was there. Dream was there. It was like a smorgasbord of us there, just like offering our voices for it. It was awesome. And so yeah, for anyone listening who may be looking for some voice talent, like listen, we know some people. You know what I'm saying? Like we know Soleil, we know me. I'm sure that goes for Kesa as well. Want to do some voice acting, audio. I don't know if it's something that you would be interested. So the next time we do a Monster Prom stream or any kind of stream like that, I'll keep y'all in mind because that was a lot of fun. To those of y'all who missed it, I'm sorry, but maybe y'all should have been paying attention to our content earlier.
Or click the bell on Black Oni on Twitch.
Y'all know.
Sure.
Oh yeah, WCA voices, absolutely. Listen, yo, Soleil, you trying to become a wrestler? Because I'm gonna do a quick plug for IR528 real quick because like it's like super amazing like what he's done with
For sure.
with it. It's like he created like this whole show basically of like putting streamers and content creators in it as wrestlers, and he would do commentary. I'm supposed to be joining him for commentary at some point, but doing commentary of the fights. And so like it'll like Case's in it, I'm in it, Source is in it, a bunch of other people that we know. I think Gilmer's in it as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Like they're just mad different
Dream
people.
just made a debut.
Okay, shit. So Soleil, if you're trying to be up in that as a character, and you can do like a voiceover like intro to like as a debut for your character. Yeah. So
that would be cute.
Yeah, I'll connect y'all. Make sure that happens because that'd be cool.
All I gotta say about WCA is dream manifested. I'm coming for you, and I want my belt back.
Oh, and so that puts that there. Like again, she does great voices. I can attest to that because we've all spent time playing together and talking together and doing the voiceover stuff. So the other question I have for you is, what has been the most rewarding thing about creating art or about being a content creator? It can be either.
Hold on.
And if you guys have questions too, by the way, feel free.
Okay. Ask that question again.
Yes. What has been the most rewarding? It's okay. What has been the most rewarding thing about creating art or about being a content creator?
What is the most rewarding thing? I think it's other people's like reaction to it, I guess, or knowing
internet, please.
That you made somebody be in a good mood. I think as being somebody that watches YouTube a lot,
yeah,
like I would watch it. I would be like at the end of the day, I'm like tired, and just to like have that laugh, like is like great. So I think that's the most important thing. And then whenever I'm gone and people ask me like when I'm coming back or when I'm making something else, or that always warms my heart too. It's like, oh, y'all actually miss me. I was like making my goofy videos and y'all actually miss me. Like that's crazy.
You've been getting a lot of that. I peeped. I was one of the people who was like, yo, like I'm trying to see some more content though. But as someone in a situation that understands that very well, like I don't ever try to pressure you or anyone else who's like Ego Raptor. I don't know if y'all are familiar with him, but he explained a while ago that like doing the animation projects that he did, as much as he like loved the idea of doing them, like it just brought him so much anxiety, and like it was just like so much pressure, and it was hard, and it was time consuming, and it was all of these things. And as a creator myself, who was kind of going through that with my fucking comic book, like I can understand completely. And my last question for you is, what do you expect? What do you hope people get from experiencing your content? You kind of alluded to that a little bit, but is there anything specific that you kind of want people to take away from watching your videos?
Well, I think one of the most important things is that I am like that laugh for some people that need it, like at the end of the day, or if they're what I mean, like that's one of the most important things. And then also just like as far as like the goals that I want to reach in terms of like creating and just in general, just to show people that they can do those things too, or that they can do them like from the ground up, I think is important. And there was one last thing. Oh yeah, just like the creativity aspect. Like I would like inspiring other people. One person inspiring another is like a really powerful thing. So I like that too.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, I gotta say, like for sure. Once we started getting in contact, at that point I had kind of like given up on doing anything YouTube related. But like seeing some of your videos did kind of like spark more interest in me doing it again. I mean, aww. I have a video that like I've been editing for like ever that still isn't out yet, but I have something that's brewing as a result of kind of like being reminded by maybe a few people as well of just like, I know mine isn't going to get a lot of views because like I don't upload on YouTube often, and like the algorithm kind of really depends on you uploading all the time to get any kind of traction going. But I still did it as a result of chatting with you and watching videos and shit.
You should, and not just because of the algorithm, but just as a creator, period. Like YouTube is where you can archive all your stuff. So somebody like fucks with you, like they can still go back and like watch it and see your work in its entirety. Right. So I would still suggest doing it, even if the algorithm isn't like on your side, or even if it doesn't seem like it's like there's much reward in doing it at that moment.
Yeah, that's fair. That makes sense. And this is a question for everyone. And we can start with Audio Lover, since shout out to you, obviously, because you helped put together this podcast. You laid the foundation, speaking of foundations, for the agenda for today. So thank you again for that. I just added shit in where it felt necessary. What's on your backlog that you're looking to play?
I got a couple. The first one, I got like 3 games. 2 of them, 3 main games. 2 of them, which is from this gen, and then 1 from last gen. So the 2 from this gen that I'm looking to play right now before the PS5 releases is Sleeping Dogs. No, I'm sorry, Sleeping Dogs is from last gen.
Yes.
What am I trying to pull from this gen?
Well, technically, Sleeping Dogs that got remastered for next gen or for current gen.
Yeah, that's the one I'm going to be playing. It's not going to be for the PS3.
Yeah.
That one is one of my main ones I'm going to be playing. Batman, which I'm actually playing right now, the Telltale.
Oh.
Yeah, I like
That game is messy.
Yo, it is. It is. Yo.
Jesus.
It is so messy.
That game is
I haven't played it yet. I don't
messy,
even know.
dog. Oh my god. I was doing things, and I'm not gonna spoil anything, but it's like
Chile.
you have. Yo, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but that game is messy. Like you make some choices, and I made some choices where I was like, okay, like yeah, I'm gonna back off. And then apparently I get into a situation where it's like,
You can't.
bruh.
Yeah. I kind of want to talk to you either offline or like during a candid stream to just like hear what you decided on stuff, because like I loved that game way more than I thought I would.
It's on some real though. That game was glitchy for my PS4. Like it has some bugs.
Yeah.
But it's a really good game.
Yeah.
It's a really good game. And so that's one of the games that I'm really just trying to finish. That's on my backlog. The other one is Bloodborne. I gotta play that. I feel like that's a must play before the PS5 comes out. And then
How do you do with frustration? That's my question to you.
yeah, you know what? I've never played like a Dark Souls game, and I hear it's a lot like Dark Souls.
I know.
Team, so.
But I love that. I guess it's considered an action RPG, or no, it's not.
In a way,
Action
yes.
adventure? Okay. So I like those kinds of games, so I could make it work.
Yeah.
I could make it work. And then I hear there's like some co-op if you get stuck somewhere. So hopefully someone could jump in. Maybe one of you guys could jump in. Help me out. Help me through.
Definitely a possibility. It's been a grip since I played, but you know, I'm a little strong in it. Whatever.
So that's pretty much it. And then one of the launch for the PS4, so like Killzone. I never played Killzone.
Wow.
Well, I played the originals, but like I never played, what is it, Shadowfall?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I want to do that, at least that one before, PS5 comes out. That.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Kesa?
Okay, so for games of last gen, I mean, I need to finish Neo. I never actually got to finish that game, and I want to play Neo 2 when that's coming out, and that's like what, in a few months?
Yeah.
That's coming out.
Yes.
So I need to finish the first one, and what else? I gotta blaze through like the Yakuza series, because on my channel we've been playing a little bit of Yakuza. We started with Yakuza 0, and we went on Yakuza Kiwami, which is the remaster of the first one, and then now they're releasing in February 4, 5, and 6, and then 7's coming out. Like I don't know, maybe next year or something like that.
So many Yakuzas.
There's so many, but it's such a good series and super fun. If you like action beat 'em ups, it's really good.
I saw Zero playthrough. I really liked it. It made me want to play it. Like I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it's super funny and it's like crazy action and it's just really cool. It's super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually got one of those in my backlog too.
Yeah, definitely give it a shot. The thing is with that game too, you mostly would play the mini games more than the actual story sometimes.
Yeah, I definitely heard about that being a thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So those are some good games in the backlog. What about you, Soleil?
What I need to finish?
What's in your backlog that you've been looking to get back into, or get to for the first time? It's a hard question.
So, I really want. What game did I miss? Star Wars. I missed Star Wars. I wanted to play that. I'm almost done with. I think I'm almost done with Devil May Cry 5.
Ooh, so good.
Ooh, such a good game.
So I'm gonna be starting Kakarot. I wanted to play that when that first came out, but like this is good enough. Like I'm excited to play it.
Yeah.
My friends have been making me very jealous. So
sorry.
Yeah, Kakarot. I need to.
Dang it, Oni.
I need to finish The Last of Us before 2 comes out.
Ooh.
Ooh,
I've been told that it's very good, and I feel like it is. So
That is.
Yeah, that is a.
I should replay one. Yeah.
How far? I feel like we can talk about it since it's been so long. How far into it are you, if you remember?
I kind of remember, but I'm like early when I'm early when like when Joel and Ellie are together on their own.
Okay. Oh man,
It's like right after.
Yeah.
Huh?
I was gonna say you've already got your heartstrings pulled at already. Like, be prepared for it to like continue.
Your heartstrings get pulled at like the first 10 minutes of the game, bro.
Yeah.
I shed a tear literally the first 10 minutes.
It's got to be harder for parents. It's got to be harder for parents. It's like,
You know,
I was
even
just
speaking,
Bro.
even speaking about The Last of Us. I don't know if you guys even seen like Nolan North actually play that with Troy Baker. But if you watch like the first episode, you actually see like Troy Baker and the actress who actually played as his daughter at the first 10 minutes. Actually, like, you see them starting to tear up and whatnot. I'm just like, wow. You can see how much power like it was in that scene and how it resonates. It still resonates with them, even though
They've read
they're
the
ones
script
behind it.
They're doing
Like the behind the scenes, like the capture.
Like, not even, no, this is like actually them like replaying it, because Nolan North has never played The Last of Us. So Troy Baker was like, we're gonna play it and we're gonna make a YouTube series out of it.
Okay.
So
Oh, they actually did a play. Oh wow,
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
it's actually really cool.
Yeah, they did do a play. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to look that up. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yo, JC Mac 120 and I used to play The Last of Us on PS3. Audio Lover played it with us before too.
Yeah.
We used to play that shit all the time.
Religiously, you guys.
Yeah, especially JC Mac. I would hop on my PS3. He would just already be on. Like, bro, do you sleep? Oh man, it's a great game.
Yes.
I mentioned it earlier while we were talking before the show, and my two kind of main backlog games right now. There's a ton on my list, but I'm only going to talk about two. One is Fallout 4 on PC. I never played it on PC. The modding community is insane, and I've experienced Skyrim on PC, and that is like a totally different experience, and it's amazing. Slightly lewd, but I want to play Fallout 4 with mods, because I feel like there's ways that game could have been a lot better. Are y'all hearing that background noise, by the way? Like the ventilation?
A little bit.
Only when you talk, like, but it's not too distracting. You're good.
Okay. No, it's me. My lady just came home and she turned the ventilation on. I'm like, son of a bitch. And then I want to play Witcher 3 with mods, because they also have some really useful, specifically like combat mods and like quality of life mods that I think would really make that game pop even better, especially in 2020. Specifically like the fast traveling. Like I liked that you could fast travel in The Witcher 3, but you had to go to a signpost in order to initiate it. So I would rather be able to fast travel from anywhere to a signpost rather than fast travel from a signpost to another signpost. That's just because like I got shit to do, and like
What did that? What game else did that? That was
Borderlands.
Yes.
Fucking Borderlands. That gets on my nerves to this day.
Right, because I'm like, yo, what else did that?
Yeah.
Who does that?
Joke me, because like it's so much open space, so much. And, like I love that, but sometimes I just want to get from point A to point B.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
Oh man. So you don't hear anything. Oh, Jason, if you don't get up. Oh wait, you don't hear anything from the thing. Okay, good. I thought you were talking about me talking all that mess about you coming on on The Last of Us all the time. But the comebacks were real. Yo, we back when Jason and I used to make videos on YouTube, we had a lot of videos together of us making these ridiculous comebacks. Some of our randos were running around getting themselves killed every 5 seconds. We're just like, all right, we got to do this. It's just us. So we did it. But those are the things on our backlist. Now it's time to talk a little bit about the kind of meat of today's show, which is the delayed games. and delays overall, and what that kind of means for the industry, and how the general perception is of it. And chat, I want y'all to let us know as well, like what you think. And if you're listening on iTunes and Spotify, and there's a bunch of other apps that this is going to be on as well, let us know on social media like what you think about delays in the games that we talk about too. So speaking of The Last of Us 2 is being delayed.
Yeah.
It is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know until when though.
May.
May.
It was supposed to come out.
Okay.
Actually, I think it should already be out, or was it supposed to come out next?
It's probably next month. Yeah.
Next month.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it got delayed till May.
Yeah. Dying Light 2 got delayed. Watch Dogs Legion. Cyberpunk 27. This is the big one that everyone was like, whoa.
Yeah, man. That's the one that hurt.
Yeah. Marvel's Avengers, which like I think it makes sense for what they were trying to do for that game. Like I got a chance to play it and like see it behind the scenes and hear all this crazy stuff about it. So like,
Okay.
what they were trying to do with it, like I feel like they just need as much time as they can get for that, because like if they can pull that off, like it's gonna be ridiculous.
So here's my take real quick. Do you think that's the case for all these games? Because I feel like looking at least this list, I feel like these games, like the developers are becoming a lot more ambitious. And I think I made like a YouTube video on this, but I feel like the developers are making a lot more, or being a lot more ambitious, and they really can't lock on an actual date, and publishers are just telling them to put out a reveal date.
Yeah.
So I think, to be honest, I think that a lot of these developers really can't make the date that they put out, because these games are becoming a lot bigger. Like if you look at Watch the Legion, like you could be any NPC.
Right.
That's very huge.
Super ambitious. Yeah.
Yeah. So to sit here and say, oh yeah, we're going to come out on this date, and especially with the gaming industry where you come out with a release date or a release date reveal like 6-8 months ahead of schedule, which is,
How could you possibly know that you're going to be done by then?
Right. So I mean, listen, I'm all for giving the studios all the time they need, but I do think that maybe they got to rethink that whole position on when to reveal the.
Yeah, I agree with that. But what do you think, Kesa? What are your thoughts on the situation, the why, and the how it may affect things?
Okay, so for the delays and everything, I had like a couple theories on why these are happening. One, the obvious reason, optimizations, and they're adding new things into the game. So like Cyberpunk being like one of the biggest things, and they're getting ready for like multiplayer, which is supposed to be coming out after the release. So they're probably adding like more voice lines, more polish to the optimization, even more extra side stories, because it's supposed to be like a living, breathing world and all this other stuff that's going on, right? And then another theory that I had a reason is like, I think one of my viewers actually brought this up, is marketing. So half of these games started to do this after Final Fantasy and Cyberpunk delayed. So those are the biggest games, right? And a lot of these games were in the same section of time, which was the first half of 2020. And then when you see Final Fantasy VII, which is like the second biggest game of 2020, and then Cyberpunk being delayed, they're like, wait, hold on. Hold on, wait.
Maybe we should delay too.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, wait, if they're gonna delay, we might as well delay too. So that's another reason it's going for like, oh yeah, marketing wise, we should actually probably delay our stuff too towards the holiday season. And then another one, and then my third theory is, I don't know 100% if this could be true, but another viewer brought this up, is because maybe they're even speculating how this game can run on next gen. So it's a possibility that some of these games will be ported to PS5 or the next Xbox. It's a possibility, but it's also like, that's like my least theory of that one. Like the first two are pretty big, but this one is like pretty small, but it's a possibility, you know? So, yeah. those are my theories and behind that.
What about you, Soleil?
In terms of, I'm sorry, it lagged.
Yeah, the lag. In terms of delayed games and what you think the reasons are for some of the more prominent ones on our list, and how it makes you feel.
I'll keep it real with you. I don't really know in detail why anything would be delayed. Like I guess I could figure certain things, but I don't know. But I think what did y'all just say? Cyber was concerned about. I hope Cyberpunk is really good, but I think Final Fantasy is the one that I'm excited about the most because I've not played one single Final Fantasy game.
Oh man!
So it's gonna be my first time.
Okay.
Experiencing it.
Nice. Yeah, I never played Final Fantasy VII, the original, but everyone tells me it's so good. I find it super interesting that Final Fantasy VII remake is getting delayed again. And again, for me, I'm all about delays as long as you're putting that time towards ensuring that the final product is better as a result of it. But it's just kind of crazy to me that it's still delayed. Like, we're still waiting for this game. Like, they technically announced it back in PS3 days, technically speaking. And they spent all that time making that tech demo and like making it look dope. And then like we found out that they're actually going to make it, and then it's like,
I mean, I'm telling you, I do think. I mean, I think the next gen has played with, especially since these games are coming out so close to next gen.
yeah,
Right.
But yeah, I think they're again really, really ambitious, and gaming is one of those industries, especially in entertainment. When you speak on entertainment, it's like the bar is always getting higher, and when you see new tech come out, you got to figure out how to use the tech before you implement it. And it's not like movies. Like, yeah, you could kind of, it's linear in movies, right? There's not that much bugs to fix.
Yeah.
Music is kind of the same way, right? Like, new tech would have been, when the auto-tune came out, right? So, or like, when a pushback music is like, oh, all these songs are trash. Go back to right? A writer is like drafting, but video games, you got so much. And these games, I mean, if you look at the list, like Cyberpunk 2077 is one of the most ambitious games on here. And and Watch Dogs Legion, like that game is like, when I saw what they try to do with Watch Dogs Legion, I was like, yo, they're not, or this game is going to be glitchy as hell. It's just known for that, right? Like, if they really could pull this off, like, like,
get Ubisoft around.
Get a literal legion of members, just like randomly. Like, it can be anyone on the streets, and that's like the idea. Like, that's a crazy idea. And like, they have to give all these characters, all these people, like something about them that makes them a character, not just a person.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So that's crazy, man. I mean, I'm excited to see when these games come out. If they don't.
Wait, if they do what now?
If they don't get delayed again.
Yeah.
We hope.
I hope they don't. I mean, listen, Dying Light 2 got delayed indefinitely.
Indefinitely?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, that's an indefinite delay. They didn't give it a certain release date.
Okay.
So that's what makes me feel like, for sure, like, yo, they're just really, really ambitious. And I think the industry in itself, because the industry has always been known to, like, and I don't know if it's for like pre-order sales, if they need pre-order sales, if that like kind of runs
their share. So think about it though, their shareholders and the people running the business side of that, the sooner they can see an immediate return of investment, the sooner they can start putting more resources towards the game or towards something else. So like they pre-orders matter to them, and like we do our best to tell people not to pre-order games because for a number of reasons. Like the game could come out like really trash, like something in my throat.
I was just about to mention that.
Something got in there, and then I had a. That was weird. That was
water,
anyway,
man.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Water on deck. There you go. Hey.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I'm actually wondering then how many pre-orders were for Dying Light, because that wasn't something that was on everyone's radar.
That's a good question. I played Dying Light and I absolutely loved that game. Absolutely loved it.
I still have to play it. I need to like complete that game, the first one.
It's dope.
Like when I played Dying Light, and this is like after Dead Island came out, I was like, if you slap Dead Island's logo on this, I would have loved this more, because I did not like Dead Island at all.
That game was
But
trash.
Dying Light was amazing.
No, Dying Light, I remember playing the beginning of it, and the reason why I never like got to in deep was because, am I cutting off?
A little bit. I mean, we can hear you, but your video feed. Like I said, technical difficulties. We all have them.
Hey, it's okay.
So, with Dying Light, I was on my last semester of my master's. So for me, it was just I couldn't get to it.
Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes.
I couldn't get to it, but I definitely want to play that. That's definitely on my backlog.
Yeah,
Get it through.
Yeah.
that's what's up.
Dying Light for me was one of those games that I watched it played through like a while ago, because I was like, I'm not gonna get this game. Like I can't just get this game right now. So let me watch somebody else play it. So it's like I already kind of know how the game goes. I guess I already know how it ends, like, and everything. So I don't know. I would be excited to play too, though.
Yeah. Man, I can't wait to play that.
Right.
And that daylight mechanic, that was dope.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like seeing
Dude,
them
I hated being
expand
at
on
night.
that. Oh.
That was dope. Because
Yeah.
I was not trying to do missions at night.
Yo. I'll never forget the first time they
Not
make
for
you
me.
do it.
Yeah.
It was like,
It was so scary.
because I streamed it, and I was like,
He screamed
and this
it,
is
all
back
right.
then, dude, like there's like a highlight of just me just like screaming and then pausing, and like you're just like running, and the way that they did that for like your first experience, they made it like terrifying, because you're running, and then like when lights show up, you see like one of the mutated zombies like eating something. One's in a room, one's like coming out of the side and stuff like that. I'm like, see.
So I love that dynamic. It was like predator and prey, but also like over time you get strong enough to be able to survive at night. But
Right.
it's still like you have to fight for
Yo,
it.
your heart, your heart be beating though.
Yeah.
You be like trying to duck.
Yeah.
You guys have it on PC or?
I have it on
do.
PC and PS4, but I haven't played it on PS4 in a long time.
Okay.
But if you need someone to help you through the PS4 version, then I can do that. I can do
For
that.
sure, for sure. I'm gonna go over there.
Yo, hold me.
No, I definitely, I'll let you know when I start. Get on.
Yeah, man. Okay, Source, listen, all right. I just said I'll play it on PS4. I just said it. But I did recently get it on PC though, because again, like it's definitely one of those things where like experiencing it on a console and then experiencing it on PC, it's like it is like a different thing. And like the more I'm practicing, my hand-eye coordination with PC, the better, because I'm playing on here most of the time now. So yeah. The next thing on our agenda, we could talk a little bit about the Overwatch League situation. And I hesitate to say any names specifically, because I haven't heard from this person specifically on the reason why they are no longer working.
This is all speculation.
All speculation. But Audio Lover, you know a little bit more about this specific thing. Someone that I respect and love a lot in the community is no longer working with Overwatch. Y'all can probably figure it out if you've been here long enough. But go ahead.
Yeah, so I don't know who broke the news, but I got this off of Cheddar Esports, and basically what was relayed was that a lot of the commentators from the Overwatch League were told to take pay cuts. So a lot of them just decided to leave because it wasn't like, no 5% kind of a pay cut. It was up to 30%. And people have, cost of living. So when you start to live off a certain income, and your axes take something that's drastic, like 30%, and you got to kind of think about what that really means. And if this is true, like I said, these were just what the whispers were. But a 30%, up to a 30% pay cut is really hard.
Especially somewhere like California, where I just moved
really
to.
Hard. Yeah, right. Right, Source. Hell no. You know what I mean? Like, the government, unless you make over like 100 and something thousand, takes 30%. Like, they don't even take 30% for us, you know, like someone like me, my common. They ain't taking 30%. I think I get like maybe 20%, and that's a lot.
Yeah.
So a 30%, you know, off what you're bringing in, and on top of that, they're not
The actual taxes after that.
right. And I don't think they're actual employees. I think they're contractors.
Yeah, they're contracts. Usually they're like most esports commentators are contracts.
So
like,
you got to file your own taxes on top of that.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty significant number.
It's rough. It makes me curious about the future of esports overall. Like, have we, not worried, but curious, like, have we kind of plateaued a little bit in terms of like the return of investment, in the way that a lot of investors see it? Or are they being just more specific and careful about how they are spending? Or it could be a number of different things. Like, what could it possibly? Y'all gotta screenshot that. Y'all gotta screenshot and clip that. That's a profile picture right there, man. It says lover on it. Yo.
On brand.
Yo, if someone sees it out of context, you're just like, yo, I'm your lover.
On brand. Hell yeah.
Make that a meme right there, man.
I just got that trademark too.
Nice.
Got the trademark. Yeah, living organisms vibrantly expressing reality.
Hey. Uh-oh.
Oh, we lost him.
And we lost him. Hold on. Oh, okay, wait. Whoop. You know, the order got messed up for a second, but we good. We're good.
But yeah, it's definitely hard for these commentators, especially with esports still growing these days. It's I mean, a lot of these like commentators, like Oni, you and I, we both know this. Like, sometimes we try to give them a flat rate, and they can't give it to our standards and whatnot. But especially for aspiring content creators, they still have to do what they can. I did a Overwatch tournament for about 3 years for free, and at a certain point, that's when I had to stop, and I had to go, you know, I need to start getting a little bit paid, because, you know, I've been doing this for a while, and my commentary is a lot better than what it used to be. So, you know, and then I remember at one point they said, yeah, we can't do that anymore, and can you still do it for free? I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't, because, you know, if I let you do it, then everybody else is going to want to do that for free. Yeah. So, and it's definitely hard for these commentators out there, and especially with that 30% cut, and you're one of the biggest esports in the world. Like, wow, that is scary, and I don't even know like where this like cut is coming from, because a lot of these games are being played at like home bases now. Yeah. So it's not even that Blizzard's putting in like super money at like they did with last season, where it's just like at multiple places that they hosted. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's an interesting situation. I'm interested to see kind of how things play out, and I feel like this is a good segue to what the Call of Duty League is doing. Soleil, if you have anything to add there, by the way, I don't want to brush over that. If you have anything you want to put in there too.
I don't think so. You can keep going.
Okay. Call of Duty League. Now, both myself and Kesa both play Call of Duty. Now that he can stream it, we're playing it a lot more.
Thanks, NVIDIA.
Right.
After 4 months.
Yeah, so quickly tell them kind of what was going on with that.
Okay, so for people who don't know, NVIDIA and Call of Duty had an issue with OBS, the new NVNC encoder that caused a lot of people who are single PC streamers and people who have the new 20 series cards to crash. So you would play a match, and when you got out of a match, there would be a loading issue, and then OBS would say encoding error, and you would have to close out OBS to even restart your stream. So it's a lot of people were frustrated about it for months. Even Drifter, when Oni and I were playing with Drifter like 2 weeks ago, he even said day one to the devs, like, yeah, this is a big issue and you guys need to fix this. But for 4 months, it was not like nothing came out. There was nothing that came up from NVIDIA. There was nothing that came up from Infinity Ward. There was no communication.
They didn't even acknowledge it.
They didn't even acknowledge it. They knew about it, but it's just they didn't tell anybody, like, this is an issue. We know this issue is happening. We'll try to fix it. You know who actually said something about it more? Streamlabs. Streamlabs talked about it more. They tried to help people.
Because it kept getting hit up about it.
Yeah, but nothing from like the key people, NVIDIA or Infinity Ward. But yeah, that's where that issue was. But they finally came out with a fix last week, and yeah, so I could probably stream Call of Duty, so can other single PC streamers.
And the crazy thing about that too, I know we're getting off topic, but that's what we do here, right? The crazy thing about that too is that the beta worked perfectly fine. And the beta, back when the beta was out, I think it was like August, late August, early September, or maybe it was a little bit after that. I don't even remember anymore. But I was at a temporary housing for my lady's job. Like, they gave us a temporary spot before we got this new place, which, by the way, if y'all are watching the visuals of this, you know, the display is coming together.
Yeah, the boxes are removed.
Well, there's still some in boxes, but for the most part, you know, feeling good.
Looking good.
Feeling good about it. I was gonna go somewhere with that. But yeah, they had the beta going on, and I was actually running the game and streaming it on the same laptop that I'm using to stream all of my content now. I was doing all that on a laptop that was less powerful than the PC that I'm using now, less powerful than the PC that Case is using right now. So somewhere along the line, they did something to fuck it up, and they didn't say nothing about it. And the Call of Duty community is kind of like really, I don't want to say angry with them, but they're a lot less patient and forgiving right now, because they've had, even like their patch notes, for example, patch note after patch note after patch note, there are all these stealth changes to things that they don't explicitly state or say in any way, or there's just like stuff that they'll say they changed that they just didn't change. And their communication, again, I love you guys, Activision, not Activision, not really, Infinity Ward. I love what you guys have done with the game. I appreciate, you know, all the hard work that you do, but at the same time, like, you're getting a lot of just like really basic things wrong when it comes to delivering this game. And you know, IR528, he's in here again, of course. We've talked about this before in length many times during streams. Like, the game is so good and I want to keep playing it and it's addictive, but they're still like getting all these really stupid things wrong. And you know, from the fact that like they weren't saying anything about a lot of the stealth nerfs and changes, to one of their new updates causing people to bump off of each other, like their like bumper cards all the time. Like, it was bad. Like, your teammates could push you off of ledges, basically.
Yeah, they gotta get that together.
That's not good.
They fixed it somewhat, but like there was some bug that got introduced when they did that caused that issue. And then like when they first launched Shipment, like, a lot of people hate Shipment, especially because like their first 3 times doing it, it was terrible. And they did do things to make it better, but like when they launched it, like no one at the team thought to like be like, you know what, when people spawn at all corners, you shouldn't just be able to just like immediately kill them as soon as they spawn at all corners. Like, it still happens on Shipment, but it doesn't happen the same frequency as it did when it first launched. And it's because like A, the spawns, and B, like the lines of sight on the corners, it was completely clear. They did a lot of things, I believe, to fix it, but I don't know. There was just like a lot. Again, it's like there's a lot of like smaller mistakes, some bigger ones, but a lot of smaller mistakes that they made that now are just like, bro. But anyway, about the Call of Duty League, we have a new Call of Duty League that's going to be very similar, I believe, in format to what Overwatch has done with their league, and I wonder if that's going to be enough to get people to come to those games to do like a home away tournament style, like tour style thing, similar to what Overwatch is doing with their home and away games as well. Do you see that as a future? Do you want that as a future? These are questions for chat too, but for you guys.
I definitely think I would want that as a future. Do I see it as a future? I don't know. I mean, right now, I think, and I'm trying to look this up, but from the last I saw, I think these tickets are going for like $70, $80, like starting price.
Wow. That's kind of expensive.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I'm unemployed and shit, but even if I wasn't, like, that's kind of expensive.
So we're talking about tickets that are sometimes higher than basketball games for NBA and football games.
And baseball games too.
Right, like in the nosebleeds, right? Even in your like 300 levels and stuff like that, like you could probably get them for like, you know, maybe $50, but from what I saw, they're like $70, $80 starting out. So I think they need to work on that price, but I think what they're trying to do as far as going to these different markets, definitely could work, definitely could get people watching it more, because I do think Call of Duty is one of the bigger ones in the States as far as esports. I know that, you know, League of Legends and stuff like that is like more of a worldwide appeal, but I think they could definitely like make something work with that. It's just the cost.
Soleil, would you go to a Call of Duty game for $80?
Would I go to one?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're paying me, absolutely. Shooters are like out of my like expertise. Like, I don't play shooters like that.
Okay. Gotcha. Are there tournaments that you would go to?
Anything fighting. Period.
Evo.
Yeah. I definitely feel like fighting is easier to watch, at least to me.
What else do they have them for?
Oh, they have them for Overwatch. They have them for, like, literally, as we were saying, Call of Duty. Like, they've had tournaments for those a bunch. League of Legends, which I can't watch.
Why can't you watch a League of Legends? I'm curious.
It's just boring.
Same.
Like, the energy from the other people, like, there is great. Like, I love that. I love the people energy, but like watching the actual game itself play, like, you're kind of like watching little ants, like, click, 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 click.
I was wondering if it was just me.
No, I mean,
I don't know. Like, I'd be like, yeah, I really can't watch that kind of stuff. And people are like, well, you're not into esports. I'm like, well,
that's
watch
not true.
fighting
Like,
games.
Because like being a mobile player and what like that, it's like me myself. I don't like watching League. I'd rather play it than watch it. So it's I get that. It's just that it could be boring to watch, especially if you don't know how the game works. It's gonna be extra boring to you too. So it's like that.
Yeah.
I remember watching, this was my first time ever watching it. I remember watching StarCraft at New York Comic Con 2012 or 2011. It was one of those. It was one of the Comic Cons where I was a host basically and interviewing people and doing commentary for there. I remember I like sat down to take a break and watched StarCraft, and that was interesting because I didn't know what was going on, but like I started picking up on things going on. I started learning about it, and like I was seeing the players, like I've played RTSs before, but I got to see like what it looked like when you're like literally commanding several units. You're basically like being a multitask expert at that point. Like I was seeing their hands moving in ways that I thought they looked like they were typing essays. Like it was like I was like, holy shit. Like that was impressive to watch. Because again, it was like a multifaceted like situation where they weren't just controlling one character. It wasn't just like within this contained kind of scenario. It was like literally anything can happen in this entire scenario, and the players just have to build up their resources. Obviously, it's like that with MOBAs. You have to build up your resources to kind of have like your big battles, or maybe you want to do a bunch of small battles in between that, or whatever it is. Like it was even though it was very similar in concept, it was just more interesting to watch that than it is to watch League. If that makes any sense. Fair. At least for me. And this is no knock on anyone who loves League as well.
The cops coming to get me.
Yo, the cops, the po-po trying to get you.
Shut down the podcast, man.
Y'all having too much fun. Police!
Help!
Fate. What about FIFA, Madden, and 2K tournaments?
I have a feel about sports games in general. I'm sure I could. Man, listen. The first time I played like seriously against some friends and saw the fuckery that happened when I did. I'll give you a scenario. Just playing NBA 2K whenever the fuck it was. And I was at the not the line of scrimmage, the behind the hoop, where you're like passing to the other team, to your team from behind the hoop.
Halfway?
No, not the halfway. I can't think of the word right now. But y'all know what I mean. Like someone just scored. I bet it's my turn. I'm gonna take the ball out of bounds.
Yeah, out of bounds. Yeah.
Take the ball, throw it to my partner. I threw the ball to my partner who was over here. You know where this is going. I have a feeling. Homeboy on the other team over here somehow got the ball. So we looked at the replay just to make sure we weren't crazy.
Yeah.
My character throws the ball over here and it swoops into this man's hand.
But
it was curved. It happened in like, I think it was like 2008.
Oh, all right.
It happened in 2008. But I've seen shit like that happen beyond that though. That's why I stopped playing. Because like the game decides when it wants that shit like that's gonna happen, even if it don't make sense. And so like that shit used to happen in Madden all the time too.
Yeah.
I've seen it in tournaments before. I've seen this shit. I've seen people like turning upside down, inside out to catch a ball that's not even there. So I don't fuck with sports games anymore, because if you're gonna leave us a chance that much, like this is all just like a visual to make it look like I'm doing something. It's not real. It's not like me really doing those things.
I've seen the 2K League, the NBA 2K League. It's all right. Like I think what they're trying to do is okay. Because they don't do the home away stuff, but they do have, like, every market has its own team, and then they're like trying to connect with the actual NBA. But I mean, I've watched a couple of games, and I don't know, like I'd rather watch the real thing. As far as when sports games are concerned, I just rather watch. If I'm gonna watch something like that, I'll rather watch the real.
Same, because at least the bullshit happening is like real shit that's happening.
like you know, unless you're the Golden State Warriors, and you're just
cheat codes.
You're just a cheat code for the last 5 seasons.
Right.
But other than that, I mean, that's how I feel about sports, like those sports games, tournaments. And that's the only one that I know that they actually, like, every player, they don't pick a team to play. Like, every player creates their own character. So to me, it's like one of the best when you talk about sports games, because when you're talking about Madden, it's just someone who picks, you know, a pre-roster for a pre-team with a roster, whatever the case may be, and then the same with FIFA and stuff like that. So those kinds of things, it's just like, Like I could do that at home with my homies.
Right.
Like if I'm really playing great sports games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Soleil, thoughts?
I don't know. We kind of moved past my
Yeah. Well,
knowledge.
do you like watching sports games?
Sports games? No. I think sports and shooters are like my least.
Okay.
Too, I think.
That's fair.
I feel that.
Sports games suck.
Again, no knock against anyone in chat who loves sports games. Like, love what you love, but you know, after I had grown up playing so many sports games, and in each and every one of them, there was always those situations where it was like, no matter what I did in this situation, I was just going to not win.
Yeah.
You know what? I ain't gonna lie. I like the really cartoonish or the really outrageous. So like NBA Jam.
Street.
I used to love that.
Street,
Street.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like Blitz. Like if those come out, like I may jump on one of those. But like the actual simulations, like nah, I'm good off.
Rocket League. That was my shit.
Oh, Rocket League's amazing.
Def Jam. That ain't no sports game. That's a fighting game, bro.
Like, but still, back on the topic of like sports games and everything. How do y'all feel about like how the past like maybe 2 years these sports games have been very bad, and you know, even with their patches and everything, it's still bad.
Don't need no year to year.
That's not. See, thank you. Somebody else who was also saying it. Thank you. We need to stop doing these year to year. What we need to start doing is probably like, you put out one, let it last for maybe 2 to 3 years, and just add people on rosters and whatnot. Because all you're doing is just face scans, and then code. That's it.
You know, they could honestly wait even longer than that, because at the end of the day, if you look at the last 5 NBA games, maybe someone in chat knows specifically more about the intricacies of what changed in those games. I can guarantee you
it's like one feature every time.
I can guarantee you this. It's the same engine. It's the same studio working on it. And it's the same general concept of how they're implementing their changes. In some of those cases, they revert in many ways to worse systems and worse features and worse like animations and et cetera, et cetera. They all that stuff can potentially become worse, as in the case as, you know, I don't even want to say the word because I know one of the homies in the chat is going to blow a gasket. But WWE 2K20, like that game, you know, she over there laughing. Yeah. The last podcast we showed footage of the glitches in that game, and like it wasn't like it happened every once in a while. Like it was all the fucking time.
Yeah.
And they,
I remember like when they put out a patch that was supposed to fix things, and then it broke things even more. Like people couldn't edit their characters, they couldn't edit their rings. None of that stuff worked. I'm like, how are you gonna put out a patch and it don't work? Did y'all really test it? Like what happened to your QA team?
Yeah.
Like, what are y'all paying your QA team for?
Jesus. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Right. Yearly, $60 for roster updates.
Yeah. And I saw that JC Max said like it's not profitable, but in the long run, it's gonna be least profitable because people are gonna start being like, oh, it's getting worse and worse every year. Maybe I just shouldn't just buy this anymore.
I think it's I don't know. I think it could be profitable. I mean,
it could be, absolutely.
It could be, but
you
at the same
know,
time, it's just
they
like,
spend money on they started hitting people with the microtransactions and stuff like that. Like, listen, you know, people want to pay for skins and tattoos and stuff like that.
yeah.
And that's
When
the
they
thing,
start-
though. They're targeting people who either A, don't know better, or B, that's the only game they buy in a year anyway. So it's like, I don't mind spending another $30 on some shit for the game. This is the only game I really buy. This and maybe Call of Duty, right? They'll get those 2 games in a year and then call it a day. And I feel like that kind of person is becoming less and less common though,
Right.
as more and more people get into gaming. Because like even people that I knew from back in the day who only did that now play more than that. Now, like,
but I feel like they still play like more of the free to plays, right? Like the Apex Legends.
that's definitely a thing.
But it's more like, I would say that's towards kids these days, because you know kids can't go out and buy
That's true.
video games anymore. Now the
That's
reason
true.
why Fortnite's so popular, you know, because it's free.
That's true.
It's
Like,
free,
but
and
my nephew gets like, he only gets 2K every year, and he gets it on his birthday. And that's the only game he gets every year.
Oh my god! Like
Every single year. Like, that's what he asks for. That's what he wants. He wants 2K and money to spend in 2K.
That's it. That's it.
And he's in high school, and I'm like, bruh. He's like, nah, like, I mean, you know, my dad gonna get me real shoes, but like, you just give me 2K. No, actually, I pay for the PlayStation Plus subscription. His mom gets 2K. His sister gets him money for the DC, so he has it all set up.
Oh my god.
He's got the system. He's good.
He good.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, dude. But that's how they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm wrong then. Shit. I thought we was past that.
Nah.
Man.
Nuh-uh. That's how it is.
That's
Right.
nuts. I want to leave some time for the Q&A for people at home to ask questions. If you want to ask a question with your voice, you can do so. If you are a subscriber, we let that be a thing. But if not, then feel free to ask your questions now. While we, it is indeed calling time for those of y'all listening at home, listening on the toilet, listening on wherever it is you are. Are you at an Overwatch League game right now? Are you on your way to a Call of Duty E-League game? You about to go watch some basketball? You know, watch some NBA 2K tournament where the balls just don't go where the players are shooting them? Then you can call in if you're a subscriber. We can get you in on this. To ask whatever question or make whatever comment you want to make, as long as it ain't nothing too, crazy. But yeah, I feel like I mentioned this the other day. I'm really happy to be doing podcasting again because, I've missed it. It's been a lot of work, obviously, but I've missed it. And I've heard from a lot of y'all that you've missed it a lot. Like, a lot.
Like me, I miss it.
Yeah. So it'll be good to get back into the rhythm of doing that
as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
So hopefully every 2 weeks we can have this going, as long as nothing crazy is going on. And I'll keep y'all updated on when that's going to be. Obviously, it's going to be uploaded on YouTube, Twitter. Well, not Twitter. As I'm going to post about it on Twitter, Twitch, iTunes, Spotify, all of the usual places, and some like random places that you guys maybe don't know about, including Anchor.fm, where you can go listen to it directly there as well. And if you want to support the show directly through Anchor, I don't know if I have a command for that or not. Nope, I don't. Okay, awesome. Well, you'll get the link on that once you go to the playlist. You'll see all the links there. You can support it through there. But yeah, questions from chat. Yeah, Midnight. We actually talked about that earlier today during the pre-show. So, once again, for those of y'all just jumping in who didn't hear the very first part of the show, unfortunate news that Kobe has passed. So I'm really sorry for his family, especially about that. But, it's one of those things, man. Like, live your life to the most happiness that you can possibly live to, and do it up.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, man.
He was young. I think he was like 41, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy. So Chaotic Soul Zero asked, do y'all feel like the age of game patches has lowered the standards of games nowadays?
No.
Okay. Why do you say that?
Anthem.
Wait.
There was no game patch that could help Anthem. I feel like they thought.
I feel that supports that question more than anything. It supports the idea that it supports the idea that yes, it does lower the quality of games knowing that they can do patches. So I feel like your answer supports that idea more so than no.
Okay, yeah.
You should have said like No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky, listen, that's what they thought they could do.
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
They thought they could do that. And Battlefront 2 did it, but I feel like not every game could do it, man. And I think that these studios know now that they're and the part of the reason why of these delays, like these studios know now, like, yo, we gotta at least put this game out to a product where if it is some bugs, it's something minor.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's something minor. It's not gonna be game breaking. We can't put out game breaking content anymore. You cannot put out game breaking without game breaking.
Yeah, like you got to think about like the games that we had back in the day, like all the games that we had back in the day weren't really had these glitches and bugs that we had, and even if they did, there were like things for like out of bounds, or like for speedrunning that you find later on, right?
Right.
Like you don't have that in your old games, but now you're just like, wow, everything needs a patch.
Yeah.
Like I don't think there's like a game out there that's come out in the past maybe 6 or 7 years that didn't have a patch. Like
I would go as far to say 10 years.
maybe
Yeah.
like
And let's be clear. I mean, I feel like there are some quality of life patches that you do need. And I'm gonna use God of War as an example. They put a patch out. I don't know what other reasons why they put the patch out for God of War, but one of the reasons why we got a patch for God of War was because of the size for the letters and subtitles, right? And the reading, the literature in the game. Now, I respect that. Like those kinds of things, cool. That's not really game breaking, right? But when you have huge bugs, huge problems in the game where it actually crashes the game, like if you have legitimate crashes in your game more than 10%, 20% of the time, do not release the game.
Yeah.
Do not release the game. Like that's ridiculous, right? Like if your game is doing the stuff that we saw WWE was doing, yo, like you're not supposed to release that. Like clean that up.
Yeah.
exactly. Back it up.
You know what I mean? Like don't do that.
Yeah.
Like that's foul. That's disgusting. Just to hit and I get EA's position because EA plays both sides of the fence on this, right? Like EA put out Anthem, but then they won't put out Live because they have those kinds of issues as well, right? So it's like, bruh, you can't just put out a game because it's year to year. You just trying to make a quick 60 off each person, and 2 million people buy it. So that's like an abundance of money.
Yeah, whatever that number is. Someone do the math.
Right? But you can't do that. You can't do that. That's foul.
We have a caller who wants to jump into the line, so let me figure out how that's gonna work. Hold on. I got this. Don't worry.
He's
Don't
got
worry.
it.
I have the utmost confidence in myself.
I have faith in you.
Let's go to this screen real quick just so we can grab him in. Let's see. I forgot how I did this the first time. Invites. Ha ha ha. Oh, wait. Nope, that is not the thing that I need to do. Well, I'm so good at these things. I'm so smooth. This is going so swimmingly well right now.
Oh, you so close.
So close. I know there's a way to invite people.
It should be like
Aha, got it. Okay,
Okay, he's got it.
I'm smart. SMRT.
Yes, you are.
So smart.
We knew.
All right, you can call in right now, my guy. And then we should. Yeah. All right, let's see if this. And okay, we got a forehead. Right now.
Hey, forehead. Oh, that's mine.
Hey. Don't worry about it. I got this. I am a professional streamer. I am so smart.
Something's happening.
Oh wait! Oh, we got a little bit. We're doing a new thing, y'all. Just please don't mind me. Yep. I'm there. Just candid, real candid here. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
The Black Oni podcast is having some technical difficulties. Please bear with us in a few minutes.
This is fine.
Yeah, you gotta let me know when we going back on screen, because I could have been doing something like totally.
We good. Professional streamer. Let's go.
Professional.
All right, Gilmer. What you got for us?
Hi, I'm Gilmer.
Hey, Gilmer.
Hey, Gilmer.
A long-time listener, first time calling in.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
But really, gone are the days when we could just put your game in your console and not have to wait for like a 53,000 gigabyte update. I miss those days.
God.
It would be real nice.
Yeah.
I understand kind of why it's there, but like you guys are talking about with like patches, like you would just give us the correct game in the first place. You don't have to patch day one. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to download.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. I can't even fault you for that.
Yeah, I could definitely say I'm annoyed with especially like these huge games, and we have to download them. Like Gilmer said, like we understand why. Like it's supposed to help the game run faster, but it's like, damn, do I really have to download like 70 to 80 gigs worth of a game on my PlayStation?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, you do.
Dude, and then I have to do like another 50 gig update right after? Like,
Yo, and it's the worst when it's a single player game, right? Like,
yeah.
like multiplayer, like, all right, fine. Like I'll give you the extra gigs. But a single player game, and then on top, like if it's like I just finished Spider-Man, right? I just platinumed Spider-Man.
It's a good game.
And mind you, it took me a year to like beat that game from when I stopped playing it to when I booted it back up, and I was at 96% and didn't realize it. So I was like literally a mission away after a year.
Okay.
So I put it back in. It's like a 30 gig game, and then on top of that, it's another 20 gig patch. And I'm like, yo, why? Why are you another 20 gig patch?
Yeah.
Like, that makes no sense.
So I'm interested to hear from Soleil on this specific thing, because you mentioned before that oftentimes you'll wait a little bit before you get new releases. Do you find yourself having a ton of patches during those times as well, or is it less common because you are starting at a different time? Soleil. Oh, she probably did.
Yes,
I think you actually
Okay.
my it started lagging. I was doing well with the that's why my camera was turned off.
Yeah.
Use Discord on my TV, and I'm like in call with people. Ugh,
Yeah, Discord,
like it acts very
Right.
Discord hates you.
yes.
Yeah, it's definitely acting finicky.
Yeah, Call of Duty is a big proponent of that as well. Like, you have this huge patch. They said that you no longer will have to install shaders once you get into the game.
That's a lie.
And it's a damn lie, because you have to do it every time. Like, literally, it still happens to me. Like, the game uninstalled itself for me a number of times before. And that was because it was in a directory with the Blizzard stuff, which was refreshing it. It was just this whole thing. But so one of the questions that maybe it's Fate asked regarding if developers are getting lazy or whatever it is, like, it's definitely a matter of, at least in my opinion, it's definitely a matter of we can risk. It's like a risk assessment for them. Like, we can risk releasing this game in a terrible state and still, you know, be all right. Like, that's definitely been a thing that a lot of developers, I feel, have been feeling.
Yeah, I mean, devs.
yeah.
Some of it's on the publishers too. Stop pushing the devs.
Yeah, it's a lot of it is publishers.
It's mostly
for sure.
the publishers. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's a good clarification.
But I will also say, devs, stop promising these publishers the world.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know what you and your team could do. Let them know that's what you and your team could do.
Right.
You know what I mean? And not all devs do that, but there are some that be like, oh, no, we could definitely get that in. And it's like, come on, bro. Like, and then we hear about crunch.
Ooh.
You know, and that's a whole different story. But on that note, guys, I'm so sorry. I got to head out.
All good.
Feed these kids, get them ready for the week.
Get them ready.
I will definitely check you guys out later. Stream, I love you guys. These people are the best.
Thank you so much for your time, man. Thank you.
No problem.
And we're going to answer a few more questions before we roll out ourselves. So for those of y'all watching right now, if there's anyone else who's a subscriber who wants to jump in on the call, go ahead and let me know and I can get you situated. You'll jump in now. All right. Do you have as long as you have a question or a comment, I got you. There you are. Click that, and boom, there you go. Do you know anything about Linux? No. I can't even pretend like I do. No. All I know is that, like, I'm fine using Windows. It's fine. I'm looking for any more questions that chat had. I'm sure I missed a bunch of them, actually.
Oh, there was a lot of conversation.
Yes, I see. Couldn't keep up with everything.
Yes.
Oh, no, man. You're having technical difficulties.
Well, you know, we're just, you know, doing a thing and a thing and a thing, you know, and just experiencing a new way of doing a thing.
One comment I wanted to make was that, especially with these later games like Call of Duty, that sometimes even older systems have a hard time doing streaming and running the game at the same time. It makes it very tough for single system setups like myself to be able to run the game as smoothly as it normally would be playing if they weren't streaming at the same time.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like what the devs have done in terms of like the engineers for the system architects basically have done has been really useful for the new world of sharing experiences with people. A little bit at the cost of course, maybe some performance, because like there's only so much you're going to be able to do knowing that people at any point are going to be also using the processor to share.
Right.
But I don't know. I feel like they've done so much that is still independent of that like still looks and plays amazing. Like they remastered The Last of Us 1 on PS4 and it still looks incredible. Like, has technology gone farther from there since then? Yeah. Still dope though.
It's always going to be a constant process, and it's a bit of a balance act, I think, now for game studios, especially because, like, they do know that now more than ever, people are like sharing these games and sharing that gameplay with others, and so sometimes you have some games that lean a little too much on the multiplayer share aspect, like, and it sacrifices a lot of that single player experience. Definitely feel like that's a general trend that game as a whole has taken. I mean, look at Call of Duty. The original Modern Warfare had a very long campaign process, and a lot of the later ones that's like more recent years have been much shorter. I know the recent like remaster Modern Warfare, is how I'm calling it, was the latest one. That one had a nice a more in-depth campaign. Again, it was a bit of capturing that old spirit.
Yeah, they had a great campaign. I really enjoyed it. Definitely enjoyed it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if anyone else in the show has thoughts on that as well, but I feel like it's not really too much of an issue at this point. We won't know specifically how much they've had to sacrifice as a direct result of that. But I don't know, maybe the process of doing that, they figured out a way to make that a lot less strenuous on the actual hardware side of that than we may think.
I can only hope you're right.
Yeah. Question for Soleil. Okay, favorite Tekken game and character.
Favorite Tekken game and character? I would say, in terms of how it plays, I would probably say the last one that came out, 7, is fine. Mm-hmm. I would say 3 always has a special place in my heart because that's the first one that I played, and I like the soundtrack a lot.
Yes.
Favorite character? I would say I've always been drawn to. I don't know how to say his name. It starts with an H.
Warang.
Yeah. I like him.
Yeah.
Just learning him is like a little bit tricky, but I like him a lot.
Mm-hmm. He was one of my favorite characters in Tekken. And other favorite wrestlers.
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
For me,
you got a new fan because you said Tekken and wrestling at the same time. Yeah. He's like, I love Tekken and wrestling.
It's been years. It's been years since I would say that I've watched wrestling. Like, I know it's come a long way. I would say probably one of the more. So many people were entertaining though.
Yeah. For sure.
I think if I remember correctly, he did a lot of stunt stuff. Mm-hmm. I think I liked him a lot.
Well, who was it you said?
CM Punk. Yeah. Gotcha. There's certain people with personality. I would say Booker T. I would say with personality. He was always fun to watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that I would just like remember them coming out. I think Eddie Guerrero and I think Chavo.
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio. Yeah. There's so many people. It's been such a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Dino Heat. Almost.
So I think if there are any more questions in chat, if I didn't miss any, I will say that this was a resounding success of a podcast. We had a ton of fun here. I want to thank Soleil 88 for being our special guest today. It's the first time on the show, and hopefully not the last time.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. And make sure you guys go check her out on Twitter, on YouTube. All the information is not up right now, but it was earlier. We'll actually do. We'll go here. Yes.
Show our faces
as we're exiting. Make sure you go follow each and every one of these people that are on this podcast. They spent time to be here, and I really appreciate it. Thank you, Kesa, as well, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me again. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Everyone go follow Kesa. There goes his information right there. He is pro_quesadilla on all of the things that you would expect. Soleil is Soleil88. That's SOLEIL. Making sure I didn't spell that wrong. 88 on YouTube, and then the same thing, but Studios on Twitter.
Yes.
The audio lover, who just left now because long podcast. The audio lover on all the things that you would expect, and Black Oni for me on most of the things you would expect, except for YouTube because someone took it a long time ago. Yay! And thank you to those of y'all who called in as well. I appreciate that. Thank you, chat, for your questions and for your energy and for the love. I don't know what the rest of the crew here has going on for the rest of the day. But before we do that, I'm going to let y'all do your outros and then let us know what you got going on for the rest of the day and the rest of the week. So Soleil, we'll start with you.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for having me. My socials are, what he said they were. Soleil 88 Studios is where I am, literally everywhere. So, Twitter, my Twitch is that as well, and YouTube is just Soleil 88. You can find me there. And after the stream, or after the podcast, I'm going to be streaming Kakarot around probably like 7:30 or 8.
Ooh, nice.
So yeah.
All right.
I'm very excited to finally play this game. So yeah.
Yo, can we get a ha in chat, please? Everyone powering up for Soleil.
You have the right guys emotes. Spam that too.
Yeah. Yes. Look at that. Yes. Wait a minute. He said you ain't I can't stand you. Kesa, what you got for us? What you doing?
And what I'm doing, you guys already know. It's your boy Pro Quesadilla. I really do appreciate or Black Oni for bringing me back on here once again. You guys already know, right there on Twitch and on Twitter, same thing, Pro_Quesadilla everywhere. And I'm later on. I will be probably at 7:30 as well. I probably will be playing some Tokyo Mirage sessions and maybe even going into some Temtem. So if you guys are excited, want to see that, so you definitely want to come through, say what up. Even if you can't come through, I do appreciate y'all for checking out the stream, and thank you so much for checking out Black Oni and giving him all the love that you guys have been giving him over the years. I really do appreciate it for supporting my brother.
Oh, thank you. Audio Lover isn't here to say it, but I will say it for him. Go check him out on the Audio Lover once again. He puts out videos on YouTube pretty often, so go check those out, usually on the topics of gaming news and his thoughts and impressions on some of that stuff. So give him some love. He helped put this podcast agenda together, so much love to the homie.
There's a new one dropped today, so be sure to like it.
Hey, that's right. As for myself, I will be playing some Warframe and Temtem today before I go hang out with my lady. But it has been an honor and pleasure to be here to do this podcast with you guys. And for those of y'all who are in chat with us and hanging out, like, thank you so much. You really could have been doing anything else in the world, and you're here, giving us that energy and listening in on the conversations, adding to the conversations and all of the above. So thank you for that love. I'm going to take a quick break, bathroom break, go check on my lady and all that good stuff. And then when we come back, we'll do Warframe and then Temtem. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to some more gaming today. And yeah, I will catch y'all later.